How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I honestly, the reason it's taking so long to get this upload up today, I've recorded this like 10 times. Um, for the privacy sake of my girlfriend that passed, I'm not going to talk about her in my life. Just know that she's probably the main reason I'm still doing the YouTube stuff. Um, she was a key, a key contributor to me continuing it, and she was also a very positive influence in it. But that's as far as I want to go with it. Memories, they're bittersweet. They're painful. They're dangerous because they can keep you locked in a space that you don't want to be locked in, right? They can keep you stuck in a rut. You're gonna keep digging yourself a rut. You're gonna be wondering why you can't get out of it, and it's because you're still holding on to things that you shouldn't be holding on to. Um, but I did want to talk about two situations in my life, and the first one is when my grandma passed. And my first grandma passed away when I was 8 years old. At the end of the day, sorry, 10 years old. At the end of the day, that one was as impactful as it was at that time of my life. It wasn't necessarily something I could say really changed my life. But the moment my second grandma passed away, it changed my whole avenue. You know, that lady treated me like a son. And she'll never replace my mom, of course. My mom's my mom, but this lady was probably the closest thing I'd have to a mom if it wasn't for my mom. And just the respect, the admiration, the perseverance that she instilled in me to make sure that whatever goal, whatever milestone I wanted to put in my life, she made sure I stuck to it. And she made sure to the last conversation we had, um, that I stuck to it. She made sure that I stuck to my morals, that I stuck to what I always thought was right, what I always thought was going to be um, the the path to my success and the path to my realization of what I wanted to do with my life. But at the same time, hearing about her passing away messed me up mentally to where I didn't know what to do. I lost motivation. I just lost a lot of the will to want to keep doing the things I was doing because the one person that supported it all, up to that point was gone. I had maybe 5, 6 people that really consistently told me to keep doing the things I was doing at the time, and keep persevering through a lot of stuff because I was going through a lot of ups and downs, career wise, personal wise, just mentally, everything was just kind of caving in on itself, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I just knew that I had to do something about it. And when she passed away, those memories lock up of how I remember telling her I wanted to make sure she saw me at least triumph in some of those things, right? I wanted to make sure that she knew that everything she put as far as the work ethic, the belief in me, was not just gonna go straight to the garbage. Because at that point in my life when she passed away, I wasn't hitting goals, I wasn't hitting milestones. I was just kind of riding the wave and hoping that I was doing something with my life. And I feel bad because I feel like I let her down for a little bit. I feel like I let her down. And that's where memories can get dangerous, right? Because then you start eating yourself alive because you start thinking that you failed this one situation, you're gonna fail another. You're just gonna become a failure at stuff. You're gonna keep going in that rut of I'm not good enough for this, I'm not good enough for that. It's not working out for itself. And you know and, and so this being the 5 year mark, I kind of realized, like, I'm happy I got out of that rut. I'm happy I got out of the mentality, because if she was here today, she'd be damn proud of what I'm doing. She'd be damn proud of of the grandson she has. And kudos to my parents, kudos to her. They helped raise and mold this gentleman into what I am today. And there's no way I could ever repay that. There's no way I could ever give enough thanks in the world for that. But this year was also the 10-year anniversary of one of my buddies passing away, and we kind of talked about this in the suicide video. But there was days where I still wondered why it wasn't me that left this earth, instead of my buddy. And I know that's selfish. I shouldn't think that way. I should I should be grateful that I'm still here, that I'm still passing on a message, whatever that could be, in this point in my life. But there was a good 4 or 5 years where that was eating at me, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know why the hell I was still around, why the hell I was still doing the bare minimum, right? Because I felt like I had a second chance at life, and I realized that when he passed away, that things shouldn't have been taken for granted, right? And so I kicked myself in the ass for a couple years because of that, because I felt like I wasn't taking full advantage of the opportunity that I had been given to still be around, to still be here. And those two events really started to shape the man that I am today, along with the passing of my girlfriend. But that one stung for its own reasons. I think it's because it was short-lived, and I just felt like we had just barely found our footing as far as our life goals, what we wanted to do as far as a shared history with each other. And God, life can be a cruel bitch, you know what I mean? But it was when she passed away, it's when I finally realized sometimes God's gonna put some people out there that are gonna go through fucking hell in life, but it's because He knows they can handle it. He knows they're meant to handle it. He knows that they are there's just some people that are supposed to not necessarily live in pain, but just live through trials, right? We've talked about this in the past, where all the trials and tribulations that God has given me, I'm grateful for them. Don't get me wrong. I might have not been grateful at the beginning, but I'm grateful for them now. But man, there's been times where I contemplated some shit. I had some conversations with God, wondering what the fuck was going on. Why the hell was all this shit mounting up on me? And I didn't realize I was being selfish, because I'm not the only one that stuff affected. My grandma passing, that's my mom, my dad, my uncles, aunts, people were affected by it. People don't move on from that as easily as we want to say we do. As much as we want to say that we're going to move on from the situations, we don't. It took me the first 2 years to really say I enjoyed a holiday after she passed away, because every holiday she would call me, or I'd call her, and we'd talk for hours sometimes, and she would just wonder how I was doing, and it was just, it's some good memories. But at the same time, you go through those lessons, right? You go through those harsh times, Um, and they kind of teach you some perseverance. They teach you how to put your trust, not one in God, if you want to go with that route, but if you don't believe in God, then it teaches you to put some trust in yourself. Put some trust in the fact that you're gonna get through something that you never thought you'd get through. There's plenty of times that some bad memories would creep up, and and I was wondering, I'd be wondering why the hell I'm still around. What the fuck am I doing with my life? And it goes back to the essay attempt. It's just or essay. I guess not a real attempt; it's already an attempt. But it just goes to show you that if I was able to move past that, if you're able to move past what you feel like is rock bottom, the absolute bottom of the hill that you can hit. There's gonna be a mountain to climb, but when you're at that peak, man, when you're getting close to that peak, and you look back down at the mountainside, you look back down at the valley that you've climbed yourself out of, that you were able to, move out of, it makes those memories a lot sweeter and a lot easier to cherish in a good way instead of negatively affecting you, in a bad way to where you feel like you're failing. And that's where, the good memories hit, right? I started turning their passings, I started turning the negative memories of my time when I wanted to leave, and I turned them into a positive, right? I flipped the script on them. I started using the good times of it. All the times that my grandma would call me, all my times my girlfriend would call me, all my times that I would hang out with my buddy. When they passed, as soon as they passed away, of course we went to the negatives, right? I could have done this better. I could have done that better. I should have done this better. But what we don't realize is we could honestly just think about the good times and reminisce on the good things that we did with each other, right? Like the memories we will have to cherish, and we will have the privilege of continuing, past that point. And so, I wouldn't, as much as at the beginning, I wouldn't want to, I would want to change my circumstances. I'd wish that at least, someone was here. I can't, because God has a reason for it in my life as far as what my belief is. And God has a reason for why he's doing it the way he's doing it. And so I won't question it. I just gotta, put my faith there and continue to just continue to roll with the punches. And so, the good times, the good memories that come with life, your graduations, your marriages, your anniversaries, your milestones at work, whatever it is, right? Like, those to me are a little bit more impactful because of the fact that you if you really set your mind out for it, or you really set yourself up in the perfect way for it, there's nothing that can stop those, right? Those are going to be such positive affirmations in life that they just start building, itself in a way that you're going to start seeing walls of empowerment built, because you know what you've been through, what you had to accomplish to get to where you are now. And those are things that you will never be able to get taken away from. And so that's kind of where I'm at now in my life, is I have to realize to just accept the good parts, right? I just gotta accept the fact that as much as I hate the bad parts being what they are a part of my story. They are a part of the reason I make these videos for you guys, part of the reason I show the emotion that I do, because I want it to be real. I don't want you guys to think that this is the scripted ass fucking paper. There's nothing here that's scripted. This is as raw and as close as I can get to you guys from a personal standpoint that I will ever try. Without going too personal into my life, and giving respect to the people that have gone before me. And unfortunately, we lost two more people in our lives this year that were important to my youth, and my high school age. But there's it's just, it leaves more answers than, or more questions than answers, right? There's just a lot more of more pain in there. But if this would have happened, you know, a couple years before, I think when I was talking to the parent of one of my classmates that passed, I don't think I'd be able to console or be able to relate, as bad as it sounds, be able to relate in that way, because I wouldn't have had the experiences, right? I had to go through that rock bottom moment, including myself with my, with my situation. I had to go through those moments to be able to maybe give an answer to a question or two, as far as to, giving solace and giving comfort as to what's happening. But at the end of the day, I can't replace nobody, and I'm not going to. I'm here to give you guys an in-depth look into what I've experienced and how I feel like these experiences can benefit from a maybe it's happened to you standpoint. But I'm not here to preach my own choir. If it helps you, it helps you. If you just wanted to learn about my story, then these little chapters that I share with you are always going to be those situations. So I appreciate all of you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. This might be uploaded after. I'm sorry. Depends on the timing. I hope you guys have a wonderful end of the year. If I don't talk to you guys, then there's self-aware something before then. And just thank you for supporting the channel. Click the links below. Check out my socials. Check out my merchandise. You want a bean shirt. This shit's sick. Also, this little cut here. Your boy's a little bit of a gobbleneck. It's a little tight up here, so I had to cut it down. But that's because I was drunk and I was panicked. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. I like to cut my fucking hoodies just a little bit there, so I can have some space to breathe, because your boy's fat and chubby. That's a little too close. I'm sorry. Peace.